get to start off. I get to start off with my favorite Virginia story, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ken, and then we'll open it up to everybody. So, well, we certainly wouldn't be here without Virginia and Bob. 8 years ago, my sister called my wife Sheila and asked her to join her for a 65th birthday luncheon at Tony Bahamas in El Paseo, and we were up in Seattle, and I said, no, you don't go to Palm Desert for a lunch. And she says, well, what if we go to Vegas afterwards? And I went and booked the trip. So then I've got this issue because I've got 3 hours with nothing to do, and those of you who know me, that's like an eternity. So a friend of mine, Lou, who some of you know, said, well, you know Bob and Virginia Castle. And I said, well, yeah, I know them, but not like you know them. So call Virginia. I think they live somewhere near there, and I think there's tennis courts where they live, and I'll bet she'll invite you to play tennis. She just started playing tennis, and I'll bet she'll invite you over. So I immediately called Virginia Castle, and I said, Virginia, I'm not sure if you know who I am, but this is Steve. Oh, I know who you are, Steve. I said, well, Lou mentioned that you might live in a place that had tennis courts, and I've got 3 hours to kill, and I'm wondering if you might be able to, play tennis with me for a few hours, or a couple hours, or an hour, or maybe 30 minutes. I didn't realize how good a tennis player Virginia was. I'd been playing for about a year, and she said, well, sure, Steve, I'm sure we can do that. So when would you like to come? And I said, well, I'd like to come about 11:30 a.m. on February 4th. And then there was this pause. And she said, my God, Steve, it's September 15th. Well, Virginia, I'm a planner. I like to plan. As it turns out, Steve, I really don't have anything booked for February. So, yes, you can come over and I'll give you directions. And anyway, so, long story short, Sheila goes to the luncheon. I played tennis right there on that court, and I can't believe where I am. I've never been in a place like this. I didn't know there was a place like this. And I go to pick up Sheila, and on our way to Vegas, all I'm telling her is, I've got to live there. I've got to live there. And she says, slow down, cowboy. Before we buy a place, how about if we rent there for a month? Anyways, it never would have happened if it wasn't for her graciousness and her generosity of time and spirit, and just being Virginia Castle. So that's my Virginia story. And Ken, where are you?
Right there.
Right there. Okay, and so I'll turn it over to Ken.
Drink with me. I think Virginia would appreciate that. I think this is the first time I've ever held this microphone and not talked about the clubhouse. However, I want you to remember, and I've told this a couple of times before, when this clubhouse was first started off, Virginia was very instrumental in starting the whole process. I think Susan was up there, and there was a few other people, but she was one of the first ones in that group that said, hey, listen, we need a new clubhouse. So don't forget that. And then after that, she actually joined one of the committees. She was very instrumental in the design, interior design. So the ambience that you have tonight is in good memory of Virginia. She did a lot of work on this clubhouse. I wanted to, first of all, talk about the family. It's been a really difficult 15 months, and in fact the last 2 months have been super difficult. But I can tell you, Virginia would have been proud, really proud of her family. Bob and Bryant and Maria, her daughter, and their spouses as well. They were with her all the way. And I can tell this from personal experience. I was up there in December, and they just live a mile away from us. So I was back and forward a couple of times. And Maria, my wife, Maria, she was there almost on a daily basis or something, maybe twice a day, especially in January. And every time, the family was there. The family was there beside Virginia, tending and looking after her. And I tell you, they made her proud. She was really, really proud of the family. And I just wanted to make that mention. Now, on a lighter note, I thought we should keep this in a really light key. So I did make a couple of notes. I walked down to Starbucks this morning and I prepared a couple of things. Now, Virginia was known as a party girl. And she was. And if you ever wanted to organize, whether we were going to pachanga to the casino, or we're going to Borrego Springs for a weekend of golf, or we're going to happy hour, or we're going to play cars, she had something going all the time. But some of you may say, I really would like to have been Virginia's friend. You were Virginia's friend. If you knew Virginia and Virginia knew you, you were her friend. And I have a little story just to illustrate that. On one of our outings, we decided we were going to the Nest. And Virginia packed us all into, we called it the Grey Goose. That was the band, Bob's band. And we had about 10 of us in the van, going down to the Nest. And it's typical Nest, it's busy, it's loud, it's everybody's drinking, they're having a great time. Anyway, halfway through the night, Virginia says, I'm going to the ladies' room. Okay, finally disappears. 10, 15 minutes later, no sign of Virginia. So we kind of say, where's Virginia? Well, she went to the ladies. Okay. So we kind of sit there for a few more minutes, and then out comes Virginia from the ladies' room with another lady. And they're giggling and laughing and having a great time. And they walk out, and then Virginia comes back to our crowd, and this other lady goes somewhere else. And we said, well, Virginia, what was all that about? Well, I met this lady in the bathroom, and I just got talking to her. And we're going to go and play Stone Eagle tomorrow. And we said, well, she said this to Maria. She said, we just got chatting and we had a great connection, and we decided, hey, listen, we're going to go golfing tomorrow. And they went to Stone Eagle that next day. And that's typical Virginia. She only met her that night in the bathroom or in the ladies' room, and she off to Stone Eagle playing golf in this exclusive club the next day. So, I mean, that's typical. That's how Virginia was with friendship. Everybody was a friend. Now, we were part of what some of you poorly call us the posse, or Virginia's posse, or the Bellevue crowd, or whatever else. But there was a whole bunch of us. And the reason we are, just like Steve has just mentioned, is because of Virginia. I don't know, now there's maybe 10, 12 couples here. Most of you here this evening are here because we knew Virginia and Bob, and because of their connection and their introduction here. That's why we're here. So we followed on, and we're quite proud to say we're part of our posse. I've known Virginia for 25 years. I didn't actually, the first person I met was actually Maria met Virginia. And they met at the Bellevue Club in Washington, and they were playing tennis together. And they got hooked up to be partners. And they just kind of hit it off on the tennis court. And you know how it is with tennis. I don't know if Steve Vaughn's here tonight, but if he's not, communication is everything on a tennis court. Whether you're shouting at your partner to watch the short lob, or watch her backhand, or be careful, or switch over. All these comments, you make them during the game. Anyway, Maria comes home that night and says to me, she said, I get teamed up with this gal, Virginia, and it was great. I mean, every time I say something to her, during the game, she said, yeah, okay, yeah. You can hear Virginia, yeah, no problem, okay, yeah. So she says, it was just so much fun to play with her, because she was so cooperative. Well, that's good. Anyway, that night we were out drinking, and I got introduced to Virginia, and I sat down next to her, and I said, hey, Virginia, Maria really, really enjoyed playing with you. I mean, it was a natural partnership, and she was really happy the way you communicated, and you were talking on the golf court, on the tennis court. And Virginia turns over and she says, don't tell Maria this, but I don't understand a fucking word she says. It's typical of Virginia. Anybody else might have stopped the game and said, what? That was just the way she was. As they became better and better at tennis, they decided they wanted to up their game. So Maria made a suggestion to Virginia, why don't, and I don't want to get too technical in case there's no tennis players here tonight, but when you're serving, you can actually poach. In poaching, you have to give a hand signal to the server to say that you're poaching. And it's usually pretty easy. Anyway, they made up their minds they're going to try this because it would just bring their game to another level. So Maria says, let's keep it simple. I mean, this is behind my back, but you know, that means I'm going to poach. That means I'm staying, I'm not going to poach. And that means I'm faking. I'm going to pretend I'm going to poach. I mean, yeah, okay, no problem. Now, she did understand this. I mean, they had spent some time discussing this. Anyway, the first game comes up, and they said, hey, let's do it. So Virginia gets up to serve, and Maria says, don't forget the signals. Okay? Yeah. So Maria goes up to the net, and the first signal she gives is a goal. She's poaching right off the bat. Virginia makes a nice serve down the middle. Maria moves into the middle, takes the ball out of there, boom, a winner. This is pretty good. Next time we cross over, do another set, another play. This time Maria gets the fake side, fakes. All of a sudden, the lady on the other side of the net dumps it in the net because of the fake. And they look, wow, we won the game. Okay, a couple of games later, it's now Maria's time to serve. And Virginia has to make the thing. And Maria says, don't forget the signs. No problem. Go, stay, hey. Okay. Maria signs the first one, and Virginia goes, hey. So she goes, and she fakes, and again, they win the point. So they're really feeling pretty good about this. Cross over to the other side, and Virginia gives the stay sign. So Maria knows that she's not crossing over, she's going to come down, so she stays there. Boom. And again, they play it very well, and they end up winning the match. So they're really, really pleased with each other. Hey, this is a good thing. Maria tells me, and this is her story, in 25 years of playing with Virginia, she never once gave the go sign. Not once. But again, typical Virginia, she was participating, she wanted to get involved, but there's no way she was going. I'm going to end with, and you've seen some of Virginia's really good sayings, and it's not what the fuck. Because although she could pepper a sentence with that word, and it was just good dialogue. And we use it sounds like cursing, but I tell you, it was just part of her dialogue. But she did have the other saying, and it was up on the board earlier on, and it says, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, when that explains something that's just so incomprehensible, so unbelievable, you just don't want to think of it, you just can't explain it. It is what it is. And that kind of epitomes why we're here this evening. It is what it is. And that's what Virginia would say. And she's right. It is what it is. Now that doesn't make it any easier, or that we'll miss it any less, but it is what it is. And today I'd like to toast Virginia. Now, Steve.
Terrific stories. Thanks. All right, now we are going to open it up to those of you. I know a number of you have some stories to tell about Virginia, so if you want to come up, I'll hand the mic over and share some Virginia stories. Great. Randy?
Thank you. This is really more observations than a story. I've got some brief notes here because otherwise I would probably say something inappropriate, unlike Ken. And but basically, I'm part of the Bellevue group. I'm Randy Main, and my wife Retta and I are members of Glendale Country Club, and there's a big group of us down here from Bellevue, and that's where we met Virginia, was at Glendale Country Club. And when we first met her, she just had this huge radiant smile. but an even more radiant personality, a very large personality. And just absolutely immediately fell in love with her. Now, as you've heard, she's very athletic and very social. In fact, getting to that, well, I'll hold that off for a minute. But down here, she was like the activities coordinator, as Ken alluded to. She did, in fact, schedule just about every event, kept everybody together. We always had something to do. Before I came down the first time, Jim Houtrow told me that I better be prepared to check into Betty Ford before I get home. And indeed, that was true. I was kind of hoping it would stay the same, but it hasn't quite as much here lately. But she got us all together, as was said, for tennis, golf, games, potlucks, watching the Seahawks on their TV for playoff games. She was just a joy to be around and a great friend. Now, she did have a great sense of humor and was self-deprecating. She liked to say, "I'm just a girl from Renton," which is the place that she grew up in. And if you knew Renton, you'd understand that was self-deprecating. She was also known, as you've heard, obviously, to throw out a few F-bombs. But they were actually always very appropriate and extremely well-timed. She had very elegant timing. But then, after having some vision problems, a brain scan led to a diagnosis of the most aggressive and deadly type of cancer you can have. As she would say, "Well, fuck." You know, I thought I was going to be the first person at the mic tonight to say that word. I really did, but upstaged by Ken again. Anyway, I just want to close by saying she never engaged in any self-pity. She just stayed focused on doing what she could to maximize the value of whatever time she had left. She loved being with family and friends and traveling, and spent the rest of her life doing exactly that, with very good humor and grace. It was, she was truly an example for all of us. She was just a wonderful person. Excuse me. She was just a wonderful person, and our lives have definitely been enriched as a result of her friendship. We will all miss her terribly. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Randy. And who's next? Connie?
I'm another one of those Bellevue people. I've known Virginia for a lot of years. First started playing tennis with her probably 25 years ago, like Ken said. And just as an aside, I was also one of Maria's partners, and Maria Quinn's partners. I never understood a word she said. I took the smile and nod approach. But with Virginia, she nailed me more than once with a forehand at the net, and maybe that's why I gave up tennis. I'm not sure. I mostly played golf with Virginia, but my story has to do with a birthday that she had. And some friends decided that we should all get together and go to Suncadia and have a big party. And it was great. There were like 14 couples or something like that, and they rented 3 houses, and we went over and we played golf. And of course, I remember that Virginia, there was one course that we played called Sun Country, and it had this par 3 that was very short and almost all downhill. And there was a bottle of tequila on the tee. And there was a closest to the pin contest, but you were not allowed to participate in the closest to the pin contest unless you had a shot of tequila before you hit the ball. That was Virginia. So anyway, we get together and we're celebrating her birthday, and this is such a big deal. And I don't think I was the only one. I gave her my birthday card and it said, "Happy 60th birthday, Virginia." And she just looks at me and she goes, "Well, that's great, but I'm not 60. I'm only 58. Why are we doing this big celebration? It was not your 60th birthday. But anyway, she had a good time. We all had a good time. And I miss her too.
Thank you. All right. Who's next up? Jim, I know you had something to say, so I'm gonna put you up there.
Pretty much what I was going to say is what everyone has already said. If you knew Virginia Castle, your social calendar was just totally full. I mean, she would organize a group, she'd make the reservations, closer, and I just made a note of some of the things that we've done over the years. A lot of people have done this. So, how about, okay, tonight we're all going to go down to Smitty's. Remember going down to Smitty's? Dance down to Smitty's? Or we're all going to the casino tomorrow night, or let's go to happy hour, or you guys in to the Judy show with Virginia. She has so many of these things. It was just all the time. You didn't really need to know what to do. He said, "I'm lost now that she's not here now," because every night Virginia's got an activity planned for us. She organizes it fun, and she's such a wonderful person. And I'm afraid everyone's already said this, so I'm going to move on.
Thanks, Steve. All right. I know some of the others out there have a favorite Virginia story. Feel free to come on up and share it. If you don't have a favorite Virginia story, I'll start telling jokes. Oh, there we go.
We live next door to the Cassett's, and we attended every party they ever thrown through, I guess. And we never left our condo. It was fabulous. They were so accommodating, so friendly. It was a blast, and we didn't even have to travel.
It is kind of amazing. Oh, here we go. Mike.
We built a castle, and it's called Virginia.
Here we go. Right. Sandy.
Hi, I know that Larry Hunter and Chuck have already acknowledged Virginia's service on the tennis committee in our newsletters, but I'd also like to share with you that it was the 2013-14 season when Roger and I recruited Virginia to be on the tennis committee. And did we not know what we were getting into? But as it turned out, Virginia, we were hoping that she'd bring in some of the higher level players into the tennis program, and she did exactly that. And we thank all of you who are on the higher level of tennis and participating in what you've done. One of the expectations of the tennis committee is that you organize events. Well, the first year, Virginia took on a number of events, but things kind of got in the way. So we had to look at people to back that up, which they did. And then the next year, Virginia came through like car investors and doing things. And I think you all know that the viewing area that we have now, we contribute that to Virginia, that she was the one who got everything organized and made sure that happened. So when you're viewing, think of Virginia, that if it weren't for her, we wouldn't have those. So the other thing is Super Bowl. I think you know how much that has been a great success, and that's because, again, of Virginia. So when we have those celebrations, remember her. And just the fact that she was able to get everyone organized, involved, and being a great person to do that. So we want to thank her on behalf of the tennis committee for all her work.
Not only would Virginia volunteer whenever help was needed, but when Virginia asked you to help her in what she had volunteered for, you stepped forward and you helped her. She had that way. Okay, other Virginia stories.
I'm Teresa, and one of Virginia's friends from Bellevue, and I haven't known Virginia as long as many of you have, only about 10 years, and mostly through golf, never through tennis. But I think it's really important that, you know, I was here the day that Virginia got diagnosed, and all of us were pretty shell-shocked. And I went home and we were doing our drives to radiation. And a couple of things really hit me, and this is the kind of person she was. Excuse me. She said, well, none of us are going to get out of this thing alive. I said, good point. And she said, I said, so what do you think? And she said, well, I got a couple of things that I want to make sure of. She said, I don't want to be a fucking idiot and drool a lot at the end. I said, okay, that's a good thing. And she said, you know, I want to see Maria's baby. That's a good thing. And she said, I'm going to live as best I can, and I'm going to travel, and I'm going to hang out with my friends. And you know what? I miss her so much. But that lady, in less than 15 months, got that whole checklist done. And she lived with grace and love, and to the very last day. She wasn't anything but Virginia. And just want all you guys to know, we're all very, very fortunate. We're all very fortunate to have known someone like her.
All right. Other stories? Anybody else want to come up? And we do have. Oh, we got Lynn coming up. We have a special announcement. We're going to wait.
Yes.
Just real quick.
No, Lynn. You were in a lot of those pictures.
I have to tell you, I am not part of the Bellevue group. I really tried to be. But we invited you. You know, I worked my way in smile. But anyway, the one thing I remember about Virginia is we would go up to her house and Bob's house, and we would party. And one night we had been drinking a little too much. And Virginia said to me, and we were friends, but we weren't really close. And she said, I'm going to walk you home. I'm like, I can get home by myself. But she said, no, I'm going to walk you home. And I said, oh, okay. So we're walking home, and I'm thinking, this is so special. This woman really cares about me and wants to make sure I'm not going to get mobbed or dctc. So as we're walking home, we go home and we live down in the historical district. We get past and we go past Luigi's. She goes, oh, let's go up to Luigi's place. No, we gotta go home. And she says, okay. So we walk a little further, and then we see Gresher and Henry's like, oh, they're up. Let's go up there. We didn't, but the one thing that meant so much to me about Virginia is that she cared. Even though she was drunk and I was drunk, she wanted to take care of me and make sure I got home. So I have loved her from that day. I will always love her for that. I called her Sunshine because if you look at any photo we have of her, she is smiling. So Virginia, we love you, we miss you, but thank you for your friendship.
Thanks, other stories? Jeff? You're safe. Got another speaker. I knew that whole carrot and stick thing would work. Telling a joke, that was a stick.
I have no jokes, and I am also, my wife and I are a part of the Bellevue Club group, and we have many, many thanks to Virginia and Bob, because they are the ones that got us down here back in 2011. And my wife dearly loves it here, and has dearly loved being here because of Virginia. A couple of stories. What hasn't been mentioned about Virginia and Bob is the unbelievable New Year's Eve parties they used to throw there in Medina. Several of you, I hope, were there. One of these parties, about halfway through it, maybe 10:30 or so, the music's blaring, everybody's drinking, there's food all over the place, and Virginia starts bringing out the tequila. And it's not any tequila, it's probably the best tequila that Bob and Virginia can buy. And it's in the center table there in the kitchen, and she starts pouring shots. And everybody's got a shot. Jim Howcroft's got to have a shot. I know you were having shots.
Oh, no.
Anyway, that night, my wife drank so many shots. She was absolutely blotted. I am carrying her to the car, and we barely make it home. Are there any police in here? Any cops? Because we never should have driven that night. So I dump her in the bed, and I said, God sakes, we can never, ever, ever do that again. Don't ever let us think of it. Because I was buzzing. She was blasted. So, fast forward next year, it's New Year's Eve, center console, and there's the tequila. Bring out the shots, it's 10:30 only, and it's Virginia. Hey, come on, Jeff. Let's have another drink. Well, she did it to me. Thank God my wife stayed sober that night, because I was so blasted. I don't even remember getting out of the car into the bedroom. I said, we can never, ever, ever do that again. I said to Virginia the next day, I said, Virginia, what are you doing to us? She said, what are you talking about? That's just normal. So, I was very fortunate. I'm going to fast forward a little here. I was very fortunate to spend 3 weeks in New Zealand and Australia with the Castles and a large group of friends. And it was one of the most fantastic trips I'd ever taken. And a lot of it was because of Virginia's coaxing that I go, wherever we go. And we get down to our first meal, and it's a dinner, and of course there's lots of wine and beer, and I think we're in Sydney at that point. And Virginia says, well, hold it, we've got to make a toast. You see the back of your program here?
Yeah.
Okay. Every single night, and if we didn't do it, everything stopped, and we brought out the toast again, and we said it. So I would like to say this toast to Virginia, because she, as you know, if you look at the words in this toast, it's her to a T. And I will start. There are good ships and wood ships
and ships that sail the sea. But the best ships are friendships, and may they always be.
Thanks, Jeff. Yes, most of you that know me have probably never seen me drink alcohol, but at those New Year's Eve parties, I broke tradition. You could not go there and not have a couple of shots. She also organized a really fun round-robin tennis clinic kind of before we went to her house. She rented all the courts at the Bellevue Club. She must have done that way early to get that. And then we all had, there were 18 or 20, 24 of us, and we'd all mix around and play tennis and then go to their house and drink. Amazing party girl. Amazing party girl. All right. Some other stories. Here we go. Michelle.
I want to just add on to what Fred said. We are across from the castles. And I'm not going to talk about the parties, although we participated in those too. But I just want to mention a more personal thing between Bob and Virginia. Every night we'd see the two of them going out to the hot tub. And that just showed the close relationship the two of them had. I mean, I haven't been in the hot tub since I've been here. And I only met Virginia Castle once on the tennis court, and that was in the 1-point tournament. I actually beat Sherry Shepherd. And I didn't know who Sherry Shepherd was. I hadn't been in the 1-point tournament. And the second time I met Virginia, well, I can't remember exactly what happened, but she served it to me. I think I returned her serve. And but little did I know the ability level of Virginia. And she actually won the 1-point tournament.
Hello, I'm Joan Beauregard, and I'm not part of the Bellevue clan. I'm from Mercer Island. I was head of school in a little school in Medina. I was there for 24 years. And Medina is a small little town with one public school and one private school. And I learned early on in my career as a teacher there that kind of like Las Vegas. What happens there stays there. So I was, as a head of school, had to play low key, never get drunk in public. So I wasn't at the castle's house for parties. But I exercised with Virginia in a private club. We exercised together with a private trainer. And I heard about you all. And I have to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed working out with Sean and Virginia, because we would talk to each other and there weren't other people around, and we got pretty rot gut sometimes. And it was great. She knew I lived here. I lived over on Pancho Segura. We have had a house since 2009, but I kept working, so we rented the house. And I loved Pancho Segura. I loved our neighbors. But due to a knee problem, we had to buy an A unit, and Jim Bartel and Mike Giacovino helped us find our A unit. And I was so excited about it and mentioned it to the trainer. And he mentioned it to Virginia. And Virginia texted, she thought she was texting me, and she texted my husband. And she said, I hear you bought up A unit over on Helen Moody. Oh my God, what have you done? The neighbors are so loud and obnoxious.
I had no idea who she was.
And so I came home from work that day, and Jim's like, oh, we got a text from someone by Virginia. And she said the neighbors on Helen Moody are loud and obnoxious. Do you know her, Virginia Castle? And I went, oh yeah, I exercised with her. That's great. And I called her and she said, we're your new neighbors. I was excited about that. On another note, I have to say something from a different point of view of Virginia. And we've already mentioned her family and how thoroughly interested and concerned about their future. And so as a head of school, I learned a long time ago never to get involved in admissions. But my last 8 years as head of school in Seattle, And Virginia called me and she said, I would love Tony to come to your school. Could you please do what you can do to get him in? Well, by then I'd retired. But I called the head of school and I said, do what you need to do. I never call you and ask for favors. I want Tony in that school. And so the last conversation she and I had was right before Thanksgiving, before Jim and I took off, and she went home, and I said, you're going to love Grandparents' Day. And Tony's doing so great there. I'm so glad you had him go to that school. So, Bob, thank you for keeping him there too.
Great, thanks. All right. Tony? All right.
When I first got to Deep Canyon, one of the first people I played was Virginia and Lil. I can't remember who was my partner, sorry if you're who it was. But all I know is I thought, this will be a piece of cake. Because Virginia had her little hat on, and she's right 2 feet behind this line, the service box line. And I thought, oh, this will be easy. And then she made mincemeat out of it. It was over my head. I tried hitting them hard at her. Boing! Lil! They made mincemeat out of me. So then I went home and I called my friend Heather. I'm like, this chick Virginia, man, she's got all the moves. She did everything, and she didn't hardly move that much. She just could do it. And she was like, that's desert tennis. And then she said, Virginia, that sounds familiar. And I go, yeah. Gina, it's her sister-in-law. She said, oh, I did kickboxing with Virginia at the Bellevue Club, and she's a badass. So my thing about Virginia, she was inclusive, not exclusive. She was awesome. Yes, sir.
So, we do have kind of a special announcement. Marie, are you here?
Yep, I'm right here.
Oh, great. We're not done necessarily with Virginia stories, but Marie has a special announcement.
My story's a little different because I'm part of the tennis committee here on campus, and a couple of Virginia's nearest and dearest friends kept approaching the tennis committee with some ideas about a tribute to Virginia. So I'd like to point them out. It's where's Lil? I mean, not Lil. Excuse me, Lil. Leah and Loretta. Can you guys kind of stand up and raise your hands there? They were thinking of purchasing a wood bench that could be used around the campus, like we have other wood benches. This is a really nice one. And they wanted to put a tribute to her on, a plaque. And so the committee was so excited about hearing what they wanted to do that they decided to finance not only the bench, but also the plaque that goes with it. So now if you do the honors, Dave. It's back there. And with the help of, I think it was Rob, putting it together, and Loretta working endless hours with Leah trying to get it the right one, we are going to place this nice bench with a plaque, and if I can find the plaque, it says, and I can't, but anyway, what was it? It says something about tribute, tireless, yeah, tireless advocate of dctc. We're going to place it next to the pro shop, adjacent to or across from Court 4 under the tree. So it's going to be a really nice dedication for her and tribute to her. So Loretta and Leah, thank you so much.
Check that out on your way out, right in the back there. Okay, other Virginia stories. All right then. Well, we have a real treat before we close the event tonight. Meg has graciously offered to sing a song in honor of Virginia.
Herb is going to play.
Okay, Herb is going to play the piano.
Miss Virginia left a wonderful legacy of love and fun in our hearts, and so here's a little song. Think of me once in a while when we said goodbye. Remember me fondly, promise me you'll try. When you find that once again you long to take your heart and be free, if you ever find a moment, stop and think of me. And when you find that once again you long to take your heart back and be free, if you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me.
Okay, Herb, thanks so much. All right, I think that might conclude our evening. There's a ton of dessert left here, so on your way out, maybe grab a couple and have dinner. Enjoy. Thank you for all attending from the Castle family. Thank you so much.